Bring anything. She want water, get up, get it yourself. She want food, get up, get it yourself. This is a very bad behavior, and you shouldn't reward it.
Yes, sir. What is the problem that you think the solution is weight loss surgery?
Because I'm too heavy and I can't do it.
Well, we give you the diet to follow, and you're trying to figure out another way to lose weight. So what is your objective coming here? What do you want us to do? Make you have to change all that dynamic. So that means, Tammy?
It's a whole different level when you're roasting someone with facts, especially about their weight. You don't even need to exaggerate. Just lay it out and watch the realization hit them like the extra servings they keep pretending don't count. Similarly, Darnell is no stranger to giving his patients a brutal opinion about their eating habits and lifestyle. James King is one of his victims who really knows what it's like to piss the doctor off.
Almost all of it anyway. There you go.
To get to taste something you're craving in the morning is one of the best things ever.
Your hand's hot.
Thank you, baby. When I take that first bite, it's heaven. I just love it.
A little background on James King. He's a gigantic 800-pound man who still relies on his wife and daughter, the latter of whom they purposely pulled out of school just to take care of a grown man. James is fully aware of the situation he's in, but he refuses to accept it because, to him, tasting gravy in the morning is worth more than living a normal life for his family. It seems his mind has been completely overtaken by the food devil, and he's lost all control over it.
How is your general health doing?
Well, I've been having a lot of pain in my lower back, and I have some severe cellulitis drainage. I mean, my legs are draining pretty bad.
When was the last time you saw a doctor?
Dr. Nav, despite everything, might just be the best thing that can happen to James. He starts off by asking questions about James' health and medical history to ensure he can craft the best possible plan for him. To label Dr. Now as just a madman with a bad temper would be unfair because, no matter what, there will be moments where he completely loses his cool and lets his frustration out on the patient. And for that, James will be at fault because, let's be honest, we don't know why.
It turned tragic, even with medical personnel with him. And if James and his family don't start to understand how dangerous his situation is, then he's not going to survive for long. He's 735 pounds. He's a 550-pound overweight. Take this seriously, James.
Thank you.
Well, it's no surprise what Dr. Now is saying because, at this stage, James doesn't have much time left. The only way for him to keep living is by listening to the doctor and controlling his eating habits. He's been given access to the best facility and the best diet to help him along the way. Even with all that support, if he still fails to meet the benchmark for surgery, it's entirely reasonable for the doctor to put him in his place.
Right, James, you're 844 pounds. So we're both finally in the same page that you're not sticking to the diet.
We have slipped a few times. I had car trouble. We didn't have a way to get food, so we had to order food in.
Doesn't matter what you say, okay? The scale is going to tell me what I...
Disappointed is an understatement when it comes to describing Dr. Now's current feelings. Disgusted is a much better word. He has zero interest in hearing whatever excuses they have because he knows that, with this plan, they had every chance to do the right thing. Instead, they failed and made the situation even worse, leaving him with an even bigger mess to fix.
Cheeseburgers.
You gained 100 pounds and you're saying it's not your fault? You needed to retrain your body? Seriously? You're eating yourself to death and you don't want to quit that. It's your responsibility. Nobody else is in here. You got yourself in this bed and you're overeating and she's bringing it to you and then you come here, oh, we have been following, maybe you slip a couple times. Yeah. You really think you can lie your way out of this? You can't gain over 100 pounds by cheating just a little. You've been eating almost 10,000 calories a day. That's almost 13 times of what you should be eating in a day. I mean, this is just...
James has absolutely no clue about the consequences of his actions or how close he is to the end of the line. Dr. Now isn't holding back, making it clear what's going to happen if James keeps lying to them. He makes sure to deliver a harsh reality check about what James has done to himself. And honestly, if Dr. Now has to lose his temper to get the message across, it's entirely justified.
It's just mind-boggling. Why won't you stop overfeeding him?
I don't know what the issue is. I know, like I said, that he has cheated some, but I will not bring him nothing else.
Some is not some. Is every day and every hour and every meal. Is not some. What do you expect us to do for you? Tell me.
I don't know.
What are you gonna do with your life? You gonna stay in the bed till you die?
No, I want to get out of it.
How?
Lose weight.
How?
Eat right.
So why you haven't done it up to this point?
I don't know.
You might as well go back home because there's nothing we can do for him.
If James hasn't already destroyed himself enough with his eating habits, Dr. Now is here to tear him down further with the hard facts he doesn't want to hear. If he doesn't grasp the severity of the situation soon, he's going to die. Dr. Now is fully justified in being harsh because it's the best thing he can do for James, even if James doesn't realize it. I'm not sure how the situation could get any worse, but let's take a look at Lindsay.
Okay. And once I get it, I savor every single bite of it.
Just love the way a meal makes me feel. When I'm eating breakfast, I'm already thinking about lunch. When I'm eating lunch, I'm already thinking about supper. I'm eating supper thinking about what I can have for a snack.
It never stops for me, and I never wanted to stop.
Lindsay is no different when it comes to being obsessed with food. If anything, she might be even worse. You can hear the sheer love she has for food, as if it's the only thing that matters in her life. Her eating habits are slowly taking her life away, yet she seems either completely unbothered or utterly clueless about what those large pizzas are really costing her.
Her and a bunch of the girls were going to go out, and I told her that I would go out, and then I bailed.
Why?
Paul, you know why. There's no way I can do that.
So knowing she lives a long ways away, why didn't you just tell her that to begin with?
Oh, time slipped away from me, and then before I knew it, she was calling and saying that we're all meeting at this restaurant. I just didn't want to go.
That's kind of messed up.
She was pretty disappointed.
I bet she was. But you also understand it's just not about her. It just seems like to me you bail on way too many people. You do that to me all the time. Like sometimes you'll promise, hey, we might go frisbee golfing, or, you know, hey, we're gonna go to this game. And then you say.
Lindsay hasn't just been harmful to herself, but also to the people in her life. Despite having actual friends reaching out to her and inviting her to go out, she still lies and cancels plans at the last minute. This isolation from the outside world is a clear result of what she's become. Food is always there for her at home, giving her the comfort she craves, but it hasn't just cost her health, it's cost her relationships too.
All right. I guess you want to lose some weight.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But it says here in your chart you already had weight loss surgery. You had a gastric sleeve done about 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work for you, huh?
It didn't, no.
And so now, most likely, another weight loss surgery is going to be another failure for you. So what do you want another weight loss surgery for if nothing is going to change?
At the very beginning of her appointment with Dr. Now, Lindsay is hit with some hard truths that may not make her feel great, but they do an excellent job of showing her the reality of her situation. A reality check is sometimes necessary to understand where you really stand, and Dr. Now has no hesitation in delivering it. If she has any shame left, it might just push her to start making better decisions.
I guess.
Yeah, but you didn't deal with the issues that were driving you to eat. And from what you're telling me, you got to a point again where you decided to stop trying and you ate whatever whenever you felt like it. So if you still feel like eating whatever whenever, you're gonna be 600 pounds like you are.
Yeah.
It's pretty self-explanatory, yet she still turns a blind eye, not realizing that it's not the surgery that's going to save her, it's controlling her eating habits. Dr. Now, with his vast experience, can judge a patient's situation at a glance, and he knows that unless she takes control of her eating, nothing will change. Without that discipline, the surgery will be useless.
So this is totally a behavioral problem that is not going to be corrected with just the surgery.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Either you make the choice to stop giving into that feeling and make a temporary change, or you deal with the issues behind that feeling. Okay?
Dr. Now is acutely aware of the case he's dealing with, as this isn't his first encounter with patients like her who try to manipulate him with their emotions. They pretend to be there for change when, in reality, they aren't even ready to put down the fork. Being harsh and strict is the only way Dr. Now can make any real progress with her, cutting through the facade to get to the heart of the issue.
And I'm sorry about that, and I apologize that back hurts, but if you start snacking now, honey, like...
Please go get it. I just want some snack food. I promise that I will try harder the next day. Will you please just go get it?
Hey, how's this? There you go. Eat your snacks, because this is what it is. You know what this is right here? All these little things right here in this bag is considered death, Lindsay, and you're killing yourself with this bull. And I'm not sticking around for it. It's serious. Eat them. Come on. Eat death, Lindsay. Eat death.
If Dr. Now's harshness isn't enough for her to grasp what she's doing to herself, it's time for her husband to step in, as he's had enough of her empty promises. Lindsay needs to understand that all these hard truths being thrown at her are for her own good. Otherwise, living her life will become a nightmare. Both her doctor and her husband are acutely aware of this reality.
To help her.
You want some juice?
What kind of juice we got?
Fruit punch.
Can you wash my cup out? I eat my regular 3 meals a day, plus 3 more.
We don't have any more ice,
Thank you.
but that juice is cold.
I don't have portion size. I like to stack my plate and get the...
Let's see if things can get any better with Lisa. Lisa's situation is no better, maybe even worse than Lindsay's, but that doesn't stop her from making it even worse. Despite being unable to move, she still hasn't grasped the seriousness of her condition. If she doesn't take action soon, she will die. Dr. Now can only guide her, but he certainly has other ways of making sure his patients understand just how messed up their situation really is.
That's the first thing. Then next, we need to get your weight down. And it is clear that you need weight loss surgery. But we need to get you to Houston before we can determine what is possible for you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
But that is a long trip for you at your weight, and it is not the safest option.
I'm willing to try anything that you come up with so I can get there.
Dr. Now, despite knowing his patients inside out, still holds on to hope that Lisa will take steps to improve her situation. That's the thing with Dr. Now. He never starts off harsh, but he doesn't hesitate to be firm when he sees things aren't changing for the better. It's now up to Lisa to prove she can turn things around with her life choices and show the doctor she's serious about making a change.
On here. All right. So there's pudding and there's bread. I'm definitely not a white bread fan.
Neither am I. That's Herbert is the bread fan.
And there's pizza rolls.
He's the pizza roll fan.
Let's see. Now, I also see a giant box of donuts. Who's eating that? I didn't
That's
see that.
Herbert breakfast.
And I know that Herbert is not eating that by himself.
Yes, he is, because I'm pickier of donuts.
Okay, Lisa.
Has nothing to do with me.
This is going in the garbage tonight.
Lisa should realize that if she continues to lie and sneak food, the outcome of all these efforts will only lead to a worse situation. Right now, she has the facility and the care to support her through this journey. But if she keeps sabotaging herself, she risks losing Dr. Now's dedication to help her, rather than any actual weight. The sooner she understands this reality, the better her chances are of turning things around before it's too late.
Trying to eat, I can't eat.
You not being hungry doesn't sound like a problem at all. And if that is the case, you should have had no problem getting down to your goal of 587 this past month.
I know.
So let's see where your weight is at. So you are 646 pounds. I gave you a simple goal to lose 30 pounds. Instead, you gained 30 pounds.
Lisa can hide her cheating and sneak in those extra 10,000 calories all she wants, but the scale doesn't lie. If she had any real intention of making a change, losing 30 pounds would have been more than manageable, especially at her size. Dr. Now's approach is straightforward. He gives his patients the tools and the plan, but if they don't meet him halfway, he knows when to let go. At the end of the day, if the situation continues to spiral, he won't waste time on someone who isn't willing to help themselves.
Going nowhere. Herbert, how's she gained the weight? What has she been eating?
Well, it'd be like green beans, raw chicken and stuff like that.
So you're just eating healthy, somehow you gain weight?
I think what I need to do is try to eat 3 meals a day, because really I'm not eating 3 meals a day.
So you're not telling me the truth. Seems like you're content being in bed and people taking care of you.
I'm not.
This is a game for you. Basically, you like someone that hit their head with a baseball bat and complain about headache. Your behavior is completely dysfunctional.
That's right.
Dr. Now has laid it all out for Lisa. She's been lying, and it's clear that food still matters more to her than her health. While he's doing everything in his power to help her, she's more focused on sneaking in extra calories than on saving her life. The reality is harsh, but Dr. Now knows that if she doesn't change soon, there's little he can do. Her loyalty is to her cravings, not the plan that could give her a future.
All right. Now, who's eating that?
He was eating them because
how did they end up in your bed then?
He was laying right there because I was crying this morning.
Lisa, stop it. This is the junk you've been eating. This is why you're not losing any weight. Her sneaking in junk food for you. And you two keep lying about it.
No.
How can we get through to you both that your time is up? You're going to die very soon. But both of you don't seem to get that, no matter what we do or say. Hopefully the therapist will. And you will take that seriously. Because if you don't, then you're done. Okay, I'll see you both soon. And you need to hit your goal because your life depends on it.
Lisa isn't even making an effort anymore. Dr. Now has caught her lies repeatedly, but she continues to deceive, risking her own life in the process. It's not just herself she's hurting. She's also wasting Dr. Now's time and dedication. Despite his constant attempts to help her turn things around, she shows no real care or commitment, drifting closer to danger every day.
The only thing that's keeping me going to push myself to do all this is knowing everything I'm gonna have once we get home.
Aaron is a rare case because despite being almost 700 pounds, he is still somewhat mobile, but he uses this ability for all the wrong things. Instead of hitting cardio or moving weights, Aaron is more interested into using his energy to go to the store and grab his favorite snacks as his father crawls on his little scooter like a snail, who Aaron still isn't able to catch up with.
Honestly, I don't have no excuse, just...
We're not asking for excuses, we're asking what's going on.
I have a lot of emotional eating issues.
Okay.
It all started when I was in school, so being picked on and bullied because of my size. And I would always just go to food for comfort, and it just progressed from there.
That don't make any sense. If you were picked on in school for your size, you were already overweight. So how can you blame that for your overeating?
Aaron immediately shifts the blame to those around him, yet his reasoning is nonsensical. He claims that the very things he was bullied for are the same things he indulges in more now. For someone like Dr. Now, this lack of accountability is unacceptable. If Aaron truly wants to make progress, the first step must be taking responsibility for his actions and choices. Without that realization, any hope for change remains distant.
Well, food was what helped me with just anything emotional that would happen to me in my life. Any deaths, like my grandmother died or my mother dying, I would end up eating and causing myself to gain more weight.
So it sounds like any excuse you could find, you would use it to justify your overeating situation.
Dr. Now delivers a harsh reality check to Aaron, insisting that his justifications are utterly absurd. He emphasizes that if Aaron continues to cling to these excuses, he'll only worsen the situation. Dr. Now's goal is to help him recognize how his emotions are manipulating him, Giving in to them will prevent any chance of achieving a positive outcome. Without confronting these feelings head-on, Aaron risks remaining trapped in a cycle of self-destruction.
When did you notice your weight was a problem?
I didn't really notice it until I was in middle school, where I couldn't fit in the regular desk chairs.
And you decided to just keep eating?
Dr. Now effectively encourages Aaron to reassess his choices, highlighting that he has always had the power to improve his situation. Instead of recognizing this, Aaron justifies his eating habits by blaming his emotions. Dr. Now points out the harsh truth. It's not his feelings that are feeding him, but his own hand. By shifting the blame, Aaron fails to see that real change comes from taking responsibility for his actions, rather than hiding behind excuses.
As much as possible, I mean, I still have a little bit of certain things, like the peanut butter. I'm having a hard time staying with peanut butter.
What do you mean, peanut butter?
Peanut butter on bread, it's just something I like eating.
Peanut butter on bread is not what kept you from losing weight. Your excuse is that. I'm sorry what you all went through, but that's no excuse to have not done the diet. And on top of that, it's been 3 months. You still had 2 months, even after all of that, to do what you're supposed to. But you didn't. What is with that?
I don't know, sir. You know.
What do you mean you don't know? You know exactly. You don't want to do the work, and you want to blame everything else for why you're not doing it. What's the point of that?
Aaron had 3 months to demonstrate his commitment to change, the only path to qualifying for weight loss surgery. Yet, he continues to succumb to food cravings, using his father's health as an excuse, as if it were his dad feeding him peanut butter sandwiches. This misplaced blame only masks the reality that he alone is responsible for his choices. Instead of taking action, he clings to excuses, missing the opportunity to prove his dedication and regain control over his life.
I don't know what to say, sir.
What is your expectation? Do you want us do something for you to lose weight, but you continue doing whatever you were doing before?
No, I don't want to do.
So how is that going to happen? How?
I'm going to change. I really am. I'm trying.
When are you going to change?
I'm in the process of changing, sir. I really am.
No, you're not. What we've given you is the first step to change. You either take it or you don't. The choice is up to you. You got it?
Yes, sir.
You know, for you to maintain weight of 696 pounds, you're still eating around 10,000 calories a day. That's not trying. That's not even close. So I'll give you 2 more months to lose 120 pounds. If you want to do this, then lose that weight. If you don't, then we don't need to waste more time playing games with you. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Now is blunt, reminding Aaron that he still controls his feelings and shouldn't let the gravity of this situation justify consuming up to 10,000 calories a day. If this reality check doesn't prompt a change, nothing will. The stakes are high, and it's time for Aaron to take responsibility. If you find this situation insightful, don't forget to subscribe and like this video to help others learn from these experiences.